Hello. So I don't even know how to do this. I haven't done this in 6 months. So if you are still watching me and you watched me 6 months ago, thank you. I hope you're I hope you're well. And the reason why I didn't upload anything was because of academics, because of studies, and I'm finally free now from all my exams, for all my internship, for all my like dissertation and all that crap. And I missed making this kind of making videos, right? So I want to get back into it, and I want to read more because I haven't read a lot since 6 months. Believe me or not, I've only read 10 books right now. I've only read 10 books in 2026. I'll talk about all the 10 books I read in another video coming soon. So for the 6 months that I haven't uploaded, I didn't stop reading. I read a little bit, and I haven't stopped buying books. So all the books that you see right now is the books which are in which have been here for 6 months. Have brought them like separately, so they have been collecting six months. I think there are around like 30 books. So most of them are used, some of them are new, and let's just get into the books and stop rambling. So at the January, I read my first Veronica Roth book. Is that how you pronounce the name? So Veronica Roth has written a lot of books. They are a very popular YA author, but the first book I read in January was called When Among Crows, and I absolutely loved it. I'll talk more about it and in depth later on another video. But so I wanted to go and check out other works by this author. So the most famous Veronica Roth book series, it is like second to Hunger Games, right? And that is Divergent series. So I bought the first book, Divergent, and the second book, Allegiant. I think there are three books in the series. I may be wrong. I think there are four also, but fourth one is like a novella or short story. I don't know. I bought the first two books. They're in good condition, and I'm very excited to read them. Itching to reread Hunger Games also, so that's probably gonna also happen. Put these books right behind my shelf so you can see how many books I've bought and other things. Another one is The Once and Future Kings, the complete edition by T.H. White. So this book is kind of big. I think it's a compilation of all the books. I think there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 books, so I guess they're pretty short, completed in the whole collection. I think it's a Arthur retelling. I am not really familiar with Arthur. The most I know about it is the sword you need to pull out. The chosen one can pull out the sword. I know that. I know the Round Table Knights. I watched Green Knight. That was kind of similar, I guess, and some other things. So not really familiar with it. The first time I heard about this book was in one of the X-Men movies, when Charles Xavier talked to kids about this book, and that got me really intrigued. I almost bought the book, but then I didn't, and I found this good condition complete edition, and I grabbed it to make it a little coherent with the previous book. Wanna read one of the pillars of the fantasy genre. I think this book, along with Lord of the Rings and maybe Wheel of Time and other books, are essential fantasy books that people should read. I haven't read them, and they are so hype on my TBR. And one of them is Ursula K. Le Guin. Ursula Le Guin. There's a K missing, I guess, but we say K, right? So this is a complete edition of all the I think the first 4 Wizard of the Earthsea book, the Earthsea Quartet. So yeah, I was so excited that I got it. It's a little banged up. There's a lot of spine damage, but this is where I want to start with Ursula K. Le Guin, and I'm glad I got it. Where should I go? Okay, next I got A Passage to India. This is a classic. This is by E.M. Forster. This is considered a modern classic. Let's see how it is. I hope I like it. So next one, I was really excited to buy this book. I cannot believe I found that, because I heard this is one of the best fantasy books ever written, and it's called Legend by David Gemmell. So this is a part of a series. I heard this is a really good book, very classical fantasy, and I have got a good mass market paperback edition, kind of similar to Legend by David Gemmell. This is the third book, part 1 of a trilogy. This is by Ted Williams. It is called Siege to Green Angel Tower Part 1. I just couldn't look at, I just could not grab it because I really want to read this series. I heard it inspired Game of Thrones, which I also haven't read. I haven't read a lot of essential fantasy books that I should be reading. Instead, I'm reading, the new book that just came out called The Raven Scholar. I'm absolutely loving that one, but I do feel a little shame because I haven't read Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, this book. So yeah, so gotta fix that. I have a lot of time. I should read all these books which I wanna be read on, which I wanna be completely read on and be informed on have an opinion on these books, right? So this is the third book. I'm probably gonna start with this one. I also have the 2 books you can see right behind me. They are the Shadow March series, and those series I'm gonna wait. So I'm gonna probably buy, if I find a copy, it's great, but gonna start with on a Kindle. I think the first book is called The Dragon Bone Chair. So yeah, that one. So I really want to talk about a movie I watched, which is called, I'm sure this is gonna connect. So that is called Conclave. It was nominated for Oscar. I don't think it won anything. Maybe it did. I really loved that movie. The ending, the twist ending made that movie I was so happy with that ending, and it was so amazing, if you know what I'm talking about. And I was so intrigued by all this conclave, all the I don't even know what to call it, the Vatican and the chapel. Is it the Sistine Chapel or whatever? I'm not really familiar with religion, especially Western religion. Robert Harris Conclave. So I got the book. This book inspired or adapted into a movie, and yeah, I'm so excited to compare this to the movie. And I heard that this author has written a lot of very religious political thriller kind of books. So yeah, I'm gonna check more of them out after I read this one, Conclave. Next up, these are some of the books which I have heard of the names, but I don't know if I like them or not. But I found them and I picked them up. So this is just random. I do not know anything about this book. Once Upon a River by Diane Satterfield. I really love the cover. I just bought it for the cover. Anyway, we'll see whenever the time comes to read this book. Next up is similar for the similar reason, but I just the cover was interesting and the title was interesting. I haven't read a lot of thrillers, so this is How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackie. That's a weird title, and that intrigued me. I hope this is kind of cozy and comfy and not very dark, because I don't think I'll like that. Next up, I got my first Ellie Hazelwood book. So I've been wanting to read the most famous one. I think it's called The Love Hypothesis, or yeah, I think that one. I almost bought it, but I didn't. But I found this one on used bookstore, and I bought it. It's called Bride by Ellie Hazelwood. This was the recent release last year, and I'm kind of scared to read it because I heard some things about this book which are kind of turning me off. Next up, for the similar reason, because it's popular and I saw the book and wanted to buy it, is 9 Perfect Strangers by Liane Moriarty. So we are kind of 1/3 of a way through, so let's continue. I have the first book in the, I don't know what's the series is called, the King's Bridge or something. So that first book is called The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. I think it's about making cathedral or building a cathedral. So it's a historical fiction. I heard it's really good, and I'm kind of scared to read it because it's really big. And it's sequel, it's a series, it's a sequel, it's called World Without End. And I found a really pretty copy for really cheap. So I bought this behemoth. It's in hardcover. I don't usually buy hardcover, but this was in such a good condition, practically new, and so yeah, I just picked it up. And my first book copy, here, let me show you. So this is the first book in that series, and you can see how worn out it is. You can't even see the name of it. And the second one looks like a new book. And yeah, that's just very contrasting. I don't know why I did that. So I got my first V. Schwab book. I really want to read this author. I think I'm gonna start with the Darker Shade of Magic, or the Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue. But I think this one is called The City of Ghosts. This is actually, I think, a middle grade book by V. Schwab. But again, I just wanted to have try this author. Probably will not read this one first, give the book I mentioned before a try. But glad to have this on my shelf. Next is a sci-fi series. I bought the first book. It's called Sleeping Giant by Sylvia Novell. Pretty weird thing is the author names is not written here. It's written in the side, but it's not written here. That's very weird. I think every book has written their author names in the front also. So this series was really popular like 4 or 5 years ago. There's a big shortage of sci-fi in my library, and I need to fix that. And I need to read more sci-fi as much as I read fantasy, because sci-fi can really blow my mind. Fantasy is transporting and comforting, but sci-fi is where your mind expands. It feels like you're actually it's just a great feeling. Like, in terms of movies, I watch a lot of sci-fi as compared to a lot of fantasy, but in terms of book, I read a lot of fantasy as compared to sci-fi. And I just think I need to read more sci-fi, because I'm getting the itch. I'm getting the itch to read a good sci-fi series. This could be the one. I read Assassin's Apprentice, the first book in the whole Elderling trilogy, or like whatever, how long, I think 14 book series by Robin Hobb. And so I have the first 2 books already. I had the first 2 books already. And I have had like the 11th or 12th book in the series called Fool's Quest. First one is Assassin's Apprentice, and I'm so glad I found a brand new copy. It looks so brand new. It was in the used bookstore, but it's brand new, and it's called Assassin's Quest by Robin Hobb. So this is the 3rd book, very big. The 2nd book is also very big. So I've got the whole first trilogy on my hands, ready to start reading. I really liked the first one. But my only gripe with that one is it kind of felt short, and it kind of felt a little rushed. The ending of first book, it was like I was like so dazed of what is happening during those last moments. Like, it escalated really quickly, and I was just not prepared, because first half was really slow, right? But I was really enjoying the writing and the world. So yeah, I'm willing to give the 2nd book a try, and I heard 2nd book is really good. The next one is I don't even know what this is. I just heard the name J.R.R. Tolkien, and I bought it because I really loved The Hobbit, and cannot wait to read the whole Lord of the Rings trilogy. And you can read the name, I don't even know how to pronounce them. I think it's like a short story, or something, an essay in that same world. Next up, some YA contemporary things books I bought, because I think they're a really good palate cleanser, like that, and rom-com books like Emily Henry and Ashley Poston and all that stuff. So I bought the first 2 book in I don't even know what the series is called. The first is To All the Boys I Have Loved Before by Jenny Han, and P.S. I Still Love You. I think this is the 2nd book. I'm not even sure. In the similar veins, I bought Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. Rainbow Rowell was really popular in 2016. I used to watch a lot of BookTube back then also, and yeah, this one was really popular. I think there's also Carry On, which was kind of action-y book, action-y romance book. Yeah, this was just there, and I just picked it up. I hope I like it. 2/3 of the way through. This is the final stack, and let's continue. Okay, so I got Notes on the Nervous Planet by Matt Haig. So I didn't even know what this was. I just saw the name Matt Haig, and I picked it up because I heard good things about this author. I have the Midnight Library, and I found out I think it's a non-fiction book, but it's pretty short, so this will be an easy non-fiction to read, I think. Okay, so this next book, I kind of picked it up by accident. I just saw the name San Andreas, and I just thought of the movie with the Rock, and that movie was okay. I don't even remember anything, but I just thought that maybe this book was kind of related to that movie, and it was a really like nice cover. It's called San Andreas by Alistair McKellen. So, and then I found out that this is completely different. This is a book written in the 90s about a ship called San Andreas, and that ship is kind of getting attacked by an enemy, and people are kind of trapped here. So we follow their lives and follow the whole disaster that happens with them, and I'm kind of intrigued. And I'm willing to try a new author. And this book, it was just like calling. It was a really pocket-sized book, really nice cover and really nice feel to it. So yeah, I'm so excited to read this one and maybe find a new good author, right? I heard this author is very popular, was very popular, or is popular, I don't know. Another author which is really popular and I really like is Asimov, Isaac Asimov. I think Asimov is called the father of science fiction. I may be wrong on that, but I really enjoyed Asimov's short story collection. I read the volume 1 of it. There's also like the second volume which I haven't read. So I bought another book. It's called The Space Ranger, the first Space Ranger novel by Isaac Asimov. It's really short. I don't even know what's it about, but I saw the name and I bought it. At this point I just want to collect all of Asimov. Maybe the last point is to read the Foundation series and the Robot series, but right now I have another book called Nemesis by Asimov, and I guess that will be my next Asimov read probably. I'm so glad I found this book, because as I said, pillars of fantasy genre, one of the main pillars is Malazan, and I want to read Malazan. I'm really scared too. I have the first book, and then I think this is the 7th book. I just found it on a good size, on a good condition. I think it's a good condition. I'm willing to try this. This is Bone Hunters. This is the 7th book, if I'm not wrong, in the 10 or 12 book series, the Malazan Fallen Empire, the Malazan of the Fallen book series. So yeah, this is pretty big. Love the cover, love the feel of it, the mass market feel. I want to collect all of these books, maybe read it someday. I don't know when. But another book which I'm really excited to read. I heard so much good things about it. If you have watched a movie, I think called 300, which I really enjoyed. So I think this is like similar, like retelling of that, all that happened, the 300 people like holding the, I don't even know my mythology. I don't know my mythology, but it's called Gates of Fire by Stephen Pressfield. So I don't know even if I talked about it, but I love Heartstopper. I love the first 2 books in the Heartstopper. The second volume was my favorite, so of course I want to continue with that. And so I got the 3rd volume, Heartstopper Volume 3 by Alice Oseman. The second book made me sob so much. That book was everything to me for like a month, right? So yeah, I'm so excited to continue with this volume. I think this is a special edition of this book, so I really want to read Spinning Silver by this author. It's called by Naomi Novik, but I didn't got that book. I didn't saw it, but I saw Temeraire. I think the first book is called His Majesty's Dragon, and this is the first book, but I think this is a special edition. I think it's a special Borderstones edition, and I just saw it. The cover looked really interesting, so I bought the first special edition of a book. It's a used one, so not really big deal, but yeah. Okay, so I bought Rivers of London by Ben Aaronovitch. So this book, I think there are like more than 30 books in this series. This is like a detective investigation, paranormal stuff, and I heard good things, and I'm willing to try it. We have only 3 books left, so let's finish it off quickly. So the first one I got is the Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. So I read Circe, I think last year, and really enjoyed it. Circe was beautifully written, beautiful like prose, and I love the prose of this author, and the Song of Achilles is the first, I think it's the debut if I'm not wrong, and I think this is also like a Greek retelling about Achilles. I'm not really familiar with it. Even if I'm familiar, I'm forgotten it because I never remember my mythology. Yeah, I heard this is really sad. I heard this is really good. One of the most popular book on the internet. Next up, my weird habit of buying books, final books or the second book before I have the first book, if they are really cheap. So this book was grossly cheap. Like, I cannot even fathom how does the new book was so like cheap. Like, so this is the third book in a Rook and Rose series by M.A. Carrick. This is called Laban's Heart. So this is the third book in a trilogy. I heard this is really good, but I heard this is very complicated and should be read like in one sitting, like reading one book, first book, and jumping into second book without like a long time. So yeah, probably gonna start with this one not anytime soon, but I'm glad to have a copy on my shelf. Finishing it off with probably, okay, so I really love Babel by R.F. Kuang, and that is the first time I discovered the genre called dark academia, and there's a really popular book, and I'm talking about The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This edition is kind of in a weird condition, like this is very dusty. I cannot even remove the dust, but the written part is really good. It's really clean, and so that is the haul. That is the every single book I have hauled in the last 6 months, and I'm excited to get back into reading. I already am. I'm loving reading right now, loving the Raven Scholar, and yeah, I see you soon in another video. Thank you so much for watching. If you are still watching, and if you're new, please subscribe if you like this video and check out other videos. Thank you for watching, like, and bye bye.